This presentation on the impact of HR1 is brought to you by the League of Women Voters of Southwest Santa Clara Valley in collaboration with the County of Santa Clara Office of the County Executive.
Valley. My name is Eileen Kao. I'm director of the programs. We plan and we have already planned a series of speakers for this first year, this new fiscal year from July until next June. So watch out from what we offer. And for this month, we are very honored to have a representative from Santa Clara County, Steve. Steve will speak with us and share all of his analysis about this, the passing of HR1 bill. HR1 bill is quote, big, beautiful bill. And so Steve will let us know the shortfall of the federal funding coming to Santa Clara would impact a lot of services that Santa Clara County offers. And we want Steve to share with his analysis with us. So here's Steve.
Thank you, Eileen, and I appreciate the way you summarized the bill. I feel like my work is done. I mean, not too much more to say.
Okay.
But before I start, I wanted to introduce Representative John Helliso from Supervisor Margaret Amikoga's office. I've known John for many years, and he's a great representative. He's a great public servant, very committed to the good work of all the work we do in California. So,
thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yes, John Helso with Supervisor Amikoga's office. So nice to see you this morning. I've been through this presentation a few times now. The county's getting prepared and taking measures to try and address the shortfalls that we'll experience from HR1. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of preparation, but as a community, I think we can do it all together. I've left with Eileen my business cards. If there's anybody who would like to contact the supervisor or myself to engage or to sit down and meet and talk further in detail about the presentation today, please let me know. Otherwise, I very much look forward to working with you all in the league and moving our community forward. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
so I passed out to, I'm standing up here because this is being filmed, and I guess I probably shouldn't move around too much. So forgive me for having this distance between us. I do have more copies in case there's people that thought this was starting at 10:40 instead of 10:30. And Eileen, maybe I'll give you some extra copies so you could pass them out to people.
Thank you.
And John, I can't believe you don't want to hear this discussion for the 5th or 6th or 7th time. So, a couple of points. My name is Steve Preminger. I'm the director of the Office of Civic and Community Engagement. It's my job to reach out to the community, and my goal is to have people better understand the county, who we are, what we do, and conversely, to have the community, whoever they may be, let me know how can they be more connected, more involved, how can they level their concerns or criticisms of the county or county services. So I don't have all the answers, but I do have a business card, and I'm happy to give that to you when we're through here. So it's just going to be me, the slides that I handed to you, my used bottle of water, and probably about 15 minutes of talk. When I finish, I would very much like to come sit down with you and have you ask me any questions you have, and I love hard questions. There are people who do this presentation, the county executive, the CEO of the hospital, and all that. I am neither of those people, so I don't claim that I'm going to be able to answer all your questions, but I'll do my best, and I always am happy to make commitments to get back to people, and I actually do. So you have a copy of the presentation. I just want to, I have some notes here so that I can make sure that I make the salient points that people need to know. As Aline said, this is known, HR1 is known as the big beautiful bill. None of us labeled it that. The president labeled it that, but we won't get into that. We won't say whether it's beautiful or the opposite. The county gets about $3.5 billion in funding to support our health and hospital system from the federal government. There are other sources of funding that help keep the hospital and our healthcare system going, but that's how much we count on. HR1 is going to cut $1 billion out of federal funding we get. Any way you look at it, taking $1 billion out of what is ultimately about a $13 billion budget is pretty tremendous. It's going to create a real hole for us. And so the county operates hospitals. People who come there are generally many times at risk. We have like a world-class trauma center. There's 3 trauma centers in the whole county, and I'm sure you all know when you have a trauma, you need doctors, you need medical staff immediately. And so the more they're accessible to people, the better. Stanford Hospital has a trauma center. Valley Medical Center in San Jose has one, and now Regional Center Hospital in East San Jose that the county just took over has one. So those are some of the things that may be at jeopardy. In addition to the 4 hospitals and 15 clinics that we run, we have a healthcare system. It's 24/7. It's always accessible. People who need help normally are considered, people at risk. And so if we have a hospital that's functioning well, people are in good shape. It's not just people that are on Medicare, Medi-Cal, that are vulnerable though, because if you need to go to a trauma center, you need to go to our burn center, one of only 3 in California north of Los Angeles, you really need help now. And so those are the things that we think are at risk. I don't know where people get their health care, maybe Good Sam, maybe Sutter, PAMP, El Camino, Valley Medical Center, or Kaiser. But if this, when the impact of this happens, we're going to be in very difficult shape. So let me try to line back up with the slides here. In addition to the cuts to Medi-Cal, there is a huge cut to food assistance, what people have called food stamps. 166,000 residents depend on the SNAP program to get food assistance. We really are a tale of 2 counties. There's folks that are doing well, folks in the middle, and then folks that are doing very badly. And so people really depend on having access to food assistance. The way that's going to be made more difficult is people will need to register for work. And that sounds like, well, why wouldn't you want people who are able to be working? Many people who get that, in spite of working and in spite of their, quote, salaries, they're still not making it. They have families, they have kids, it's very difficult. And the burden of needing to register to work or prove that you're registered to work several times a year many times has been something that's caused people to drop out of the program. And work requirements have been tried in other states across the country, I think Tennessee and New Hampshire, and they saw lots of people get off the roll, so it was very difficult. So we're very worried about what the impact is going to be to people. So people may be wondering, so what are you going to do about it? Or more importantly, what are the Board of Supervisors going to do about that to deal with that $1 billion loss? There are a few things we're going to do. The county has done all they can to make efficiencies in how we do business. That means trying to make sure that the positions that we fund now, that the staff that we have are working very efficiently. We've been doing that for several years. We've been having budget challenges, and the way to deal with that is to eliminate positions. That's where most of our funding goes, is to staff. That's the way it is in the public sector in counties, cities, schools, and all that. So we've been doing a lot of that now. We think, though, that we'll have to come up with probably about $300 million a year, because that $1 billion I talked about is going to be every single year. It's not a one-time thing. We're going to have to come up with about $300 million in efficiencies to make up a portion of the billion. Another maybe 350 million, we hope we can get the state legislature to help us with. The county hospital is of course, a public hospital. 6% of the hospitals in California are public hospitals. Santa Clara County system is the second largest in the state. The largest is Los Angeles County. Theirs is immense because their populations are immense. But most other counties don't operate their own healthcare system. They contract with private hospitals or nonprofit hospitals. They're still going to be in difficult shape, but I don't know what they're going to do to try to deal with all this. The funding we're hoping to get from the state is in part a recognition that even though public hospitals are 6% of the total number, we do training for half the doctors that go through medical school. They do their residencies in large part in public hospitals. We are responsible for putting out a lot of doctors. That might be one of them now saying, boy, I hope you're successful in what you're trying to do, Steve. Maybe not. We're trying to make people aware that the public hospitals are really the backbone of the healthcare system, at least in our county and everywhere else. Public hospitals handle about half the traumas that happen, again, there's only 3 burn units, so if anybody's in a car crash, they'll get helicoptered from all over Northern California to Valley Medical Center to get life-saving care. When you have programs like that, you have to staff them all the time. You can't have them open from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. So we're standing by night and day to be ready to deal with the kinds of emergencies that will come up. And then the final piece of that 3-part quote solution is Measure A. The Board of Supervisors said we can, the only way that we can raise money as a county is by putting a sales tax measure on the ballot. So they put Measure A on the ballot, and Measure A, if it's successful, if voters choose to vote for it, will raise about $330 million a year. It's a 5-year tax, and it will expire in 5 years. So hopefully any inequities that exist in the healthcare system will get worked out at the federal level after that, and we can get back to some level of normalcy. I'm certainly not here, nor is the league, in a position to take a position on Measure A. So I'm not here to advocate for it, certainly not against it, but not for it. That's really not the point of this discussion. People will get information about it, and you'll make up your own decision about whether you think Measure A makes sense. the other points, I'm kind of just going all over the place with these slides, so forgive me if you're trying to follow me with the paper you have. What I'm hoping is you can have the paper, and when you have discussions with your family members and neighbors, you can use this as a reference. Everything I'm talking about is online. We have really good websites that we keep updated with information about HR1 or things that we're discovering. The county has a general funding that goes to help our hospital and healthcare system, but within the healthcare system, there's behavioral health. There's healthcare for homeless people. There's public health. You all are familiar with the pandemic that we went through. I hope that you feel that the county was responsible and supportive and quick to rise up and deal with the pandemic that we all suffered through over the last number of years, but certainly in 2020 and 2021. Fortunately, that's pretty much behind us now. But that's all stuff that happened through public health, and our public health department will be hurt. So our general fund is something that we have a little bit of freedom in how to use. A lot of our funding, again, goes to support some of these behavioral health, public health, and healthcare programs. It also is what we use to fund our justice system, our jails, our probation department, our pretrial services, and things to deal with people that are in trouble for one reason or another. So when you lose $1 billion, you have to then really prioritize what are we going to fund and what are we going to let go. Those are things that the board is going to be looking at, whether Measure 8 passes or not. We've already been told that many different stakeholder groups, very legitimate stakeholder groups, like teachers, school districts, senior services providers, ethnic groups that are looking for us to better understand how can we be responsive to disparities in healthcare that have existed for generations. People are going to be saying, well, we don't want you to cut our services out of the pie. We want to make sure you fund us. And so, again, whether Measure 8 passes or not, it's going to be a very difficult discussion that we'll be having with people. So I guess in conclusion, I would say, I know the League of Women Voters is very interested in making the public aware of what's coming before you and local, statewide, and national issues, which is why we're here today. I know the League sponsors voter registration efforts and those kinds of things, and they volunteer their time to make sure that people find the process to vote accessible. And so to that, I thank you for doing that, and hopefully everybody else feels good about you when they see you at farmers markets with their clipboard saying, please sign, are you registered? That's what we want people to do. We want people to study this as you're doing now, to ask difficult questions and to encourage others to do the same. So I think that's what I have to share. Now I'm hoping you have difficult questions that will make me sweat and try to come up with answers that are honest and reflective of what's really going on.
The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization that helps citizens stay informed and encourages active participation of citizens in government. The purpose of our programs is to educate citizens. We have 2 programs planned for the month of October. The first is The Exceptional Life of Tai Lung Schultz. In 1912, Tai Lung Schultz became the first Chinese American woman to vote when she cast her ballot. The League of Women Voters of Southwest Santa Clara Valley and the Chinese Historical and Cultural Project are co-sponsoring a presentation by Russell Lowe on the life of Tai Lung Schultz on October 5th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Saratoga Library. On October 7th, we are hosting a candidate forum in collaboration with the 4 other LWV chapters in Santa Clara County. You can learn more about the candidates running for the position of Santa Clara County Tax Assessor. The candidate forum will be followed by a pros and cons presentation of Measure A and Proposition 50. To learn more about the League of Women Voters of Southwest Santa Clara Valley, visit our websites at www.lwvswscv.org. Questions about this presentation and the impact HR1 will have on county services should be sent to Steve Preminger, Director of Civic and Community Engagement at steve.preminger@ceosccgov.org.